Frank. Let's bring Devo in, and of course, we don't want to see that second wave. I know a lot of people are ready for some sports, and you got Elliot Friedman waiting there.
We do, and it kind of goes along with what you're talking about. That is all going to play in if everything is going to be okay. If that second wave kicks in, we don't know what will happen with this NHL season. So there is a plan in place now officially. The commissioner did announce that yesterday. The NHL will return, but how will that look? It's a 24-team playoff system. Elliot Friedman, insider for NHL on Sportsnet, is here to break it all down and help us understand what it is. He's joining us on the phone. Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Devo. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How are you and the fam?
Good, thank you. I love the shirt. That looks spectacular.
Dude, thank you. I'm happy you're on the phone, but I'm sad on your phone because I know that beard is massive right now.
Well, you know what? People don't have to look at me. Just think of it as a benefit for the audience.
I don't know about that, Elliot. We love seeing your face, man. All right, let's get into it because a lot of people were confused about this announcement and kind of where it all goes and how it all looks. So 24 teams involved and straight to playoffs. Break it down for us, dude.
Well, sure, absolutely. What it means is that we have a plan now for if the NHL comes back to play, that we know what it's going to look like, that the top 4 teams in each conference are going to get a bye, and the other 12 teams in each conference are going to, 12 teams in each conference are going to have to compete to see who is going to join them in that next round. And for the Maple Leafs, that means they're going to have to play against Columbus, a very tough team in the first round, and in a best-of-5 series, first team to win 3 games wins the series to move on. But, there's still a lot of work to do, Devo. We know what the playoffs will look like if hockey resumes. Now we've just got to see if the players feel it's safe. We can find the proper locations. They can work out a deal to make sure that they're comfortable with the amount of testing and the safety to play.
Yeah, so the testing would be, I think what I was reading before was every other day, right? So every second day they would get tested. They would get that swab, which is not a comfortable thing to get done.
No, it's not a comfortable thing to get done, but it would be every other day when they're in their sort of hubs. But once the play starts, it would be daily. And the plan, as it was explained last night, was they would be tested before they went to bed, and they would know the results by the morning.
Wow.
And the league, like soccer in Germany, is saying, one positive test won't end it. But what we don't know, Devo, is what's the line? When do you look at it and say, this is too much, or we've really got a problem here? Nobody really knows the answer to that question yet.
Elliot, what are you hearing from the players? I know they had their meetings and conversations over the weekend and were okay with the format, but what are they saying about getting back to play in these hub cities and kind of the risks that are involved?
Well, I think one of the biggest concerns is how long are we going to be away from our families? The league and the players have talked about when you isolate in these hubs, can the families go with you? That's one of the things that's been discussed. Some of the players we've spoken to over the weekend, they haven't yet decided if that opportunity is available to them. Is it something that they're going to want? Are they going to want to bring their family, or are they not going to want to bring their family because, is it safer to keep your family where it is? So that's a big concern. Safety is obviously a huge concern. I mean, you have some players who are diabetic. You have some players who have asthma. Are they going to want to play? Are they going to feel comfortable playing? One thing I read in baseball yesterday, there's a manager for the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, and he's battled cancer. And he said he thinks, from what he's heard from the doctors, he's comfortable enough that if they play, he's going to be involved. But not everybody will feel the same.
Right.
So I think between underlying conditions and your family, and, we still don't know a lot about this virus, what it can do to you long term, even though generally young people don't seem to be affected as much. I think this is going to turn into a personal decision for a lot of people. And as the commissioner said last night, If players object or are concerned, they'll deal with it on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, and, if we're looking at this time-wise, I know we have to kind of see where cases are at and things like that when it comes to COVID-19 overall. Is there an ideal or an idea of when they are looking at this? Is it late June? Is it mid-July? How's this kind of going through?
Well, I thought the commissioner was smart not to give exact dates, because the moment a date goes past or you don't hit your target, people are saying, "Oh, this is a disaster. It's not going to work. Cancel it." So they're in phase 1 right now, which is just be on your own, sort of. The next phase is just called phase 2. It's not mandatory. It's the team opens their facilities and you can have small workouts, but players don't have to do it. They hope to do that in early June. They said yesterday that the official training camps, which are mandatory, that's phase 3, will not be before July 1st. And if the way I've always looked at this is the NHL and their U.S. TV partners, NBC's had the Olympics, which were supposed to start in late July. I've believed that that's always kind of been the target, is to start the playoffs around the end of July, the beginning of August. I think that's what they'd like to do, but there's going to be no guarantee that that's what they can do yet.
At the end of the day, it is a business. Last thing, and we've got to get a quick answer on this one, Elliot. You think, and it's probably the hardest one to give a quick answer to, the asterisk. Is it going to be beside the winner's name of the Stanley Cup this year? A lot of people are concerned about the quality of play that will happen.
Devo, I think that's crazy talk. This is the most insane time of any of our lives. The mental stress on people is enormous. The risk is real. I think if you compete for the Stanley Cup and you win it in these wild times, you earn it. And I'll never talk like that's an asterisk.
That's amazing. Elliot Friedman, NHL insider, of course, on Sportsnet. We appreciate you breaking it down, man. Love to the family, and thanks for joining us this morning.
You too, Devo. All the best to you and yours.
All right. Thanks, brother.